and on mixlr.com/wakeupcalldt. How we doing this morning? Hopefully very well. I hope you're having a great TGIF. Appreciate your patience as we get set for Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora inside the Cafe Kubal studios. You are watching on Facebook.com/wakeupcalldt, which is also being shared on Facebook.com/live-now-dt. And you are watching on YouTube.com/wakeupcalldt and listening on wakeupcalldt.com as well as on mixlr.com/wakeupcalldt. So plenty of ways to connect with the show here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. So appreciate you very, very much, and thank you so much for tuning in. Like I said, inside of the Cafe Kubal studios, Cafe Kubal located for you in multiple places here in central and upstate New York to make it easy for them to serve you in your community. They're on 3501 James Street, 324 West Water Street, 208 North Townsend Street, 401 South Salina Street, all in Syracuse, as well as on the 343 Fayette Street in Manlius, New York, and inside of Golisano's Children's Hospital. So make sure you find your way off to Cafe Kubal today and get your favorites. Get your, it's warm outside, so maybe you've switched over to some iced coffee or an iced latte or whatever it may be. You can get that over at Cafe Kubal today. You can also continue to get your traditional coffees and your dark roasts and everything that you like over there as well. I like getting a chai, and so I'll go over there and get myself some chai today. But whatever you like, whatever you fancy, fill your cup at Cafe Kubal today. Support local and support a fantastic company that is always, always, always doing their best for our community and looking to expand and evolve, and has done so much in the middle of a pandemic even. Did so much for our community. So big ups and a big thanks to Cafe Kubal as a proud studio partner for us, and we fill our cup with Cafe Kubal here on Wake Up Call. So much thank you for each and everything. Many, many thanks. I don't know why I say much thank you, apparently because it's a Friday and I can't speak, but many thanks to Cafe Kubal. With that being stated, I actually have something cool here. We changed up some stuff in the studio, and you can't see a lot of the stuff, but we'll talk about this in just a second, what this is. But for those of you that watch all the time, you always know when I add something or take something out. So we'll talk about exactly what that is in just a little bit. But we have a lot to get to this morning on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports truly meets that thing called life. We will be starting things off here with, of course, inside of MonPazPopcorn.com's What's Poppin'. We will have the Annoying Moment of the Week, proudly presented by Carvel DeWitt, 4322 East Genesee Street in DeWitt, New York. It is what happy tastes like. So the Annoying Moment will be coming to you in just a moment here, and then we'll have Lead, Learn, Evolve, Ad-Lib, and Deliver. That acronym is here for you every Friday right around 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time with Miss Juanita Ward. Always appreciate Juanita being a part of the broadcast here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. So we'll have her on the show in just a little bit. And today's topic inside of Lead, which is proudly brought to you by Chick-fil-A Cicero. When we have the conversation with Juanita today, we will be discussing the topic of why do we forgive? Why forgive? So we'll talk about that topic. Why do we forgive? We'll discuss that here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora in just a little bit, and then we'll get into the top dog of the week, which is proudly presented to you by Canine Kamp Dog Daycare and Canine Kampground Dog Boarding. Canine Kamp Dog Daycare is available for you for obviously daycare for your furry loving friends all throughout the week, including on holidays and stuff. They allow the opportunity to help you out there, as well as at the Canine Kampground. So you can go over to Canine Kamp Dog Daycare if you need short-term care, or Canine Kampground Dog Boarding if you're leaving for a little bit. Maybe you're renovating the house. Maybe you just need a break. Maybe you're going to the hospital and having a new baby and you need somebody to take care of the dog. So Canine Kampground is there for you for dog boarding, and each dog gets their own cabin, and you got to make sure that you call so that you can reserve a spot because they do get busy. So make sure that you do that for your furry loving friends for short and long-term care by going to Canine Kamp Dog Daycare and Canine Kampground Dog Boarding. And of course, we'll be giving you the top dog of the week from them in just a little bit. And then we will round out today's show at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time with my guy Cameron Lynch. That was when we were at the Dome together, actually. Not last season, because nobody's at the Dome last season, but the season before that, when we got to spend some time together. He showed up at the Dome, and we got to do some things. So very happy, as always, to see Cam, and you'll see him today on our video chat as we discuss what he's been up to. I mean, the man's been a part of the most recent Super Bowl and the most recent NFL draft, so we'll be discussing all of that with him in just a little bit here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora in a video chat to remember at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time. So with all of that being said, plenty of show coming up to you today, and that coming inside of monpazpopcorn.com's What's Poppin', and you can get poppin' over at Mon Paz on 201 Old 7th North Street in Liverpool, New York. You can also order from anywhere in the nation at maandpazpopcorn.com. You see it right up there, maandpazpopcorn.com. Use the promo code DT20, that is DT20, at maandpazpopcorn.com, and you get 20% off in-store pickup as well as delivery to any one of the 50 states by using my promo code at maandpazpopcorn.com. And is spelled out. So go ahead and do that today and get 20% off on me with your favorite flavors. And remember that the tins of all different shapes and sizes are refillable, and they are half-price refills for life. So beautiful thing. If you get one of their tins, you can literally refill it for life for half price. So, and you can send it in and whatever you want, whatever flavors you want, they will put them in there for you. If you want one, you want two, you want three, whatever you want, they'll make it work for you at monpazpopcorn.com. So make sure that you do that today. So with that being stated, the annoying moment of the week is up first today, as it is every single Friday, and I am ready to get into the annoying moment of the week, proudly presented by Carvel DeWitt. It's one of the most fun things I get to do every single week, and it always turns into something good here on the broadcast. So if you've never heard it, welcome. And if you have heard it, well, then you know what it's all about, and welcome to you as well. I want to thank everybody that's here on the show for the first time today, and everybody that's returning. It means a lot that you spend your mornings with us Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, of course on Facebook, as well as on MixLR, on wakeupcalldt.com, and on youtube.com/wakeupcalldt. So with that being stated, let's get into the annoying moment of the week.
Dan Tortora proudly brings you...
Is that for real? Are you kidding me?
The annoying moment of the week.
I really honestly, I don't know how to respond to this.
Presented by Carvel DeWitt, 4322 East Genesee Street. It's what happy tastes like.
You have to be that crazy. I guess so. The annoying moment of the week, proudly presented by Carvel DeWitt, 4322 East Genesee Street. It is what happy tastes like. My annoying moment of the week this week has to do with how some people parent, or maybe we'll call it lack thereof, okay? Parenting these days. First and foremost, this is parenting these days. Baby cries, hand him the phone. Hand him the iPad. Hand him the tablet, whatever. Giving a 3-year-old a phone, stupid, okay? Stupid. Now, I know some people that watch this show are going to say, Dan, listen, I'm busy. I got 10 kids, yada, yada, okay? But let's be real about this. The internet, which I'm very proud to be a part of and use it for the right reasons, the internet, like anything else in life, can be used for the wrong reasons. The internet has a lot of things. And children are learning about physical things very early. Children are learning about swear words, violence, hate speech way too early, if they should even learn about it at all. Which, I mean, obviously you got to learn that this stuff exists in life, but for a little kid's mind to be molded by hate speech, to be molded, little kids are saying now, mommy, I remember somebody said to me that they, oh no, I'm sorry, it was a teacher. The little kid came in to her classroom and she said to the teacher, she said, Miss so-and-so, she said, why does everybody want to kill President Trump? Little kid said that. And the reality of it all is that's what they see, right? They see people say kill, and they see people say like the F word and all these mean things, these bad things, and they see people fight, they see sexual stuff, and yeah, it's easy to do this, right? You're at Disney, the kid's crying, you hand them your phone, right? It's easy to do that. It's easy to just say, get out of my face for 5 minutes, and of course the kids are like glued to it. And the thing is when you teach them to be glued to it that young, what happens to them? They stay that way. They stay that way, right? I think about when I was really little, and the stuff that I still remember, and the things that still stick out to me, and what you allow into your life, what you allow into your kids' lives, it stays with them. So we need to parent better. We have to parent better. And I understand that life gets busy. I understand it gets crazy. But handing a kid a phone, what does that do? What could they be seeing? Have you locked everything? Have you privacyed everything? Because I have nieces and nephews that go onto YouTube, and there's stuff that they watch that I wouldn't watch at 35 that they watch at 11. So, to me, my parents kept me away from some stuff. Like if there was TV shows that they thought went too far, I didn't watch them. My parents didn't have me watching The Simpsons when I was a little kid because, The Simpsons pushed the term, and, they would swear to a certain extent, or they would do certain things, or they would be violent, and my parents kept me away from that. My parents kept me away from, like, certain things on MTV, and seeing, like, the sexualization of stuff. They kept me away from that because I'm, like, 10 years old. What do I need to see that for? So, some people would say your parents were strict. They really weren't. They just wanted to know that what was going in my brain was going to assist it forward and not push it back or make it, you don't want a kid seeing that stuff. I remember talking to my buddy about his little sister, and she was 16 at the time. And they were and his little sister was talking in the backseat to her friend, and they were talking about all this stuff that I'm like, this is insane for a little kid to be talking about. And I looked at him and I was like, I'm going to throw up. I'm going to throw up right now. Because I gave his little sister her bottle when she was a kid. I was like, I'm going to throw up listening to this stuff. And he looked at me and he said, try being her older brother. Like, try hearing this stuff as her brother. And, our world has only gotten easier and easier to get to information. You used to have to go to a library if you want to know something, or you had to ask your parents. Remember that? Remember the days where you had to go to a library or ask your parents? Makes me feel like I'm 100 years old. I'm not. But, if I wanted information on something, I had to go to a library or ask my mom and dad. Mom, Dad, where do babies come from? Mom, Dad, what's this swear word mean? Mom, Dad, why do people say this? Mom, Dad, why do people think this? Mom, Dad, why did I see this yesterday when I was coming home from school? Like, now I ask the internet. What does this mean? And then the internet tells me what they think it means. Not my parents, not people that love me, but total strangers are telling me what they think something means. So I'm not saying that you can't, play a game on the phone, and I'm not saying you can't do great things on the phone. My buddy's daughter at 1 year old, sitting in front of something, was putting like colors and shapes together, and I'm sitting there looking at her like, how is this humanly possible? She's doing this at 1. She just like knew everything. She knew how to take it and move it. She knew what needed to go where, and I was just, amazed. So there is that positive side of it. But, I remember being at Disney, and there was this woman, and she was stopped somewhere, on the Disney, one of the Disney roads and whatnot. Not like a road, but like one of the Disney, you're inside a Magic Kingdom, and she was just kind of stopped with the stroller. And her kid was like asking for her, and like, Mom, trying to get her attention. And kid's probably 3 years old, and she just took the tablet and she just handed it to the kid, like, all right, shut up, here's your tablet, leave me alone. And then the mom's texting, and not paying any attention to her children. I'm not saying you can't text, and I'm not saying you can't reach out to people. I'm saying, where did parenting go? I truly do believe that families that break bread together stay together. I believe that the best families are the ones where everybody's at home to eat dinner. I do. I genuinely believe that. When mom and dad and the kids or whoever is taking care of these kids and everybody's home. You know, my mom and my dad sat down and ate dinner with me all week long. All week long. My mom cooked Monday through Thursday. We ordered out or went somewhere on Friday. We would maybe go somewhere on Saturday in like the summer, but my mom would cook or my dad would grill. And then we would eat at home on Sunday if we didn't go to anybody's house. So my mom arguably cooked like 5 to 6 days a week. 6 days a week. And we ate, but the thing is, whether she cooked or not, we ate together. We sat down together. It wasn't like I eat, she eats, you know, and that means a lot because you get to like check in with your kids. How are you doing? What are you learning in school? What's on your mind? You know, if you had to go to the dinner table and you did something wrong, it was hard to keep that from your parents. For me. And, you know, if you were really excited about something in the same token, it was really hard to keep that from your parents when you sat down at the table, you know. And I just feel like when you're sitting there with each other, you're showing like no matter how busy my life has gotten, you know, I care about you and I want to at least spend this hour with you today. I want to spend this time with you today. And, you know, so there's a lot to be had about this. There's a lot to be said about the importance of being present. And I think that's really what I'm saying to parents everywhere is how present are you? Because it's an annoying moment of the week for me to see the internet train our kids, to see a phone or a tablet or a laptop be the thing that's keeping your kid focused, right? And the thing is, if they become at a young age connected to that and their brain starts to believe, like, in order for me to calm down, I need to see something. And in order for me to deal with life, I need to be watching something. And you're like, I need this. I need this screen. I need this. I need it. Then guess what? They're going to turn into robots and this world is going to continue to go in the wrong direction. I'm not saying that, you know, I mean, I'm a part of the internet. You know, my show is a part of it. This is where I've chosen to put it. And I chose it, 11 years ago? And so for me, you know, I know the positives of it and I know how I can reach people. So I'm not saying like, don't be on the internet paying attention and, you know, listening and watching the show. Of course, you know, that's I would love for you to do that. But what I'm saying is when it comes to parenting, we really need to figure this out. You know, I don't know if a 3-year-old needs to be on the computer all the time. You know, I remember my parents had time limits for me, right? Like if I was on, I mean, not as they were like loose limits, but it was kind of like, all right, that's enough. You know, you've been on AOL for 3 hours. Like that's enough. And even back then, you know, you could get yourself in trouble. You could see things on AOL. There was stuff all the time where, you know, I can honestly look back on my childhood and say, like, I didn't need to see that. I didn't need to know that. But I did because it was there. So I think it's really, really important and vital that we take the time and really, you know, I know it may be hard and I know you may be tired, but the next time you go to hand your tablet to your kid, why don't you ask them about their day instead? Why don't you see how they're doing? Why don't you just check in with them? Because unless you're locking your computer 1,000 ways over, kids are going to see stuff they don't need to see. And as somebody who genuinely loves total strangers, I mean, I want us all to succeed and be happy. I can honestly tell you that if your kids are on the computer all the time and, you know, my future kids are going to school with those kids, I don't feel great about how those kids are going to treat my kids because they don't really know about real life. They just know about, like, what's right in front of them. And the thing is, who likes that? You know what I mean? Like, what parent genuinely likes that their kids don't pay any attention to them and they're on the computer the whole time? I guess a parent that's doing the same thing because they wouldn't even notice. But let's try to be better at being present, and I think it'll go a long way. With that being said, we'll take a step aside for a fast break here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports truly meets that thing called life. When we come back, lead, learn, evolve, ad-lib, and deliver with Juanita Ward, proudly brought to you by Chick-fil-A Cicero, centers this week on the topic, why do we forgive? Why do we forgive? Why is it important to do that? So we'll be talking about that in just a little bit. Right after this fast break, I want to thank Carvel DeWitt for the annoying moment of the week. And I want to let you all know that when it comes to, I was talking about families today and being there with your kids and being present. Well, one of the simplest, easiest things to do that my mom and my mom still does. My dad, they both still do, which is go out for a little treat. So why not treat the family today at Carvel DeWitt, 4322 East Genesee Street in DeWitt, New York. A little bit goes a long way, and the time to do it is today. So head out to Carvel DeWitt, let them know that Wake Up Call sent you, and try my spin on a creamsicle, which is called the Orange Dream. It's a sundae or shake form of essentially eating an orange creamsicle, but as a sundae or drinking it as a shake. You can get it exclusively at Carvel DeWitt today on 4322 East Genesee Street in DeWitt, New York. It is what happy tastes like. And we will be back here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora right after this to bring you Lead, Learn, Evolve, Ad-Lib, and Deliver from inside of the Cafe Kubal studios. You're watching and listening to where sports meets life here on Wake Up Call.
Carvel DeWitt, it's what happy tastes like. Do you know why? Because we make ice cream. Creamy, rich, flavorful ice cream. Not yogurt or iced milk like some of our competitors. Ice cream. Fresh, by hand, daily. For the calorie conscious, we have something new for you. Our new Carvelite. Same great flavor, creaminess, and texture of our regular ice cream with only 35 calories an ounce. So whether you want an ice cream cake, flying saucer, dasher, carvalanche, hard or soft ice cream, we will satisfy your craving with our fresh, handmade regular or new Carvelite ice cream. Carvel DeWitt. It's what happy tastes like.
Cafe Kubal offers same-day local delivery of our products, offering no delivery charge for Onondaga County. Shop cafekubal.com for fresh roasted coffee beans, cold brew, travel mugs, and all your essential Cafe Kubal needs. Cafe Kubal, coffee for the soul.
The Wildcat Sports Pub in Camillus, New York is located on 3680 Milton Avenue in the Home Depot Plaza. It is your family-friendly sports bar and restaurant. Folks, some sports bars aren't family-friendly. Some family-friendly restaurants are not sports bars. The Wildcat Sports Pub in Camillus, New York is proud to be both. It is that marriage that you've been looking for years. The Wildcat Sports Pub is your home base for your sports bar and restaurant needs, games for the kids, indoor and outdoor activities, and enough things on the menu to come back every single week and get to try something new. They're open Sundays from noon to 8 p.m., Monday through Wednesday, 11 a.m. to 11 p.m., and Thursday through Saturday from 11 a.m. to midnight. For reservations and party information, call 315-487-2222 for the Wildcat family-friendly sports pub and restaurant. Welcome back here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora on wakeupcalldt.com, your one-stop sports shop, and on mixlr.com/wakeupcalldt. Proud to be here with you inside the Cafe Kubal studios. Of course, Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora hanging out on facebook.com/wakeupcalldt, as well as being shared on facebook.com/livenowdt, on youtube.com/wakeupcalldt, as well as on mixlr.com/wakeupcalldt, and on wakeupcalldt.com. So basically, if you know Wake Up Call DT, you can backslash that anywhere and make it happen. So inside of these Cafe Kubal studios, I'm happy to be here with you. Welcome here to our TGIF broadcast. If you've never been here before, we have a trio of segments that finds you every Friday. The Annoying Moment of the Week, which we just had, presented by Carvel DeWitt. Lead with Juanita Ward, presented by Chick-fil-A Cicero, which we're about to do. And in just a little bit, the Top Dog of the Week, proudly presented by Canine Kamp Dog Daycare and Canine Kampground Dog Boarding. So inside a Lead, which is an acronym I created over a year ago that stands for Learn, Evolve, Ad-Lib, and Deliver, all important to today's world and always, We are here every single week to uplift you with faith, positivity, goodness, community, friendship, so many things we pack into this car and drive it out to you. And this week we are talking about the topic of why do we forgive, proudly presented by Chick-fil-A Cicero on the 7916 Brewerton Road in Cicero, New York. So with all of that, I'm very happy to welcome in my co-host to have this conversation with us that we have every Friday, Miss Juanita Ward. How are we doing today?
Hey, Dan, how's it going?
It's going well. And Juanita, just to kind of jump right into it, really, is, the topic of why do we forgive? I was sitting here and I was thinking, what do I want to talk about this week? What do I think would be good? And what I found, it kind of popped into my head is, forgiveness is a thing that's really hard for people. And it's the why. Why do we do it? To kind of break it down to help people see, people that maybe struggle to forgive, to talk about why do we choose to do that. So I want to jump right in here. Why do we forgive?
Well, as always, that I always take things back to the Bible. And we forgive because God forgave us. Things that we do things on a regular basis that's not pleasing sometimes. And if we want to ask God, I want you to do this, I want you to do that. And we wonder why sometimes we have a stall in getting our blessing is because some people have a ought, or some people have a grudge, or some people, are still holding something heavy in their heart towards another person or towards another situation, because maybe someone didn't say, I'm sorry. Maybe someone didn't say, forgive me. Maybe someone didn't give you what you wanted, or someone did something negative to you and you're still holding on to it 10 to 12 years after the fact. It's very important to forgive because you clean yourself. Sometimes people can't forgive because they feel like, well, the next person is going to have one up on me. If I forgive, it's going to make me look weak if I do that. Well, forgiveness doesn't make you look weak. Forgiveness actually gives you power. Forgiveness actually releases you and cleanses you. It actually makes you lose weight. It makes you lose stress. It takes the pressure off your shoulders. You can think clearly. You can have a clear vision and a clear mindset. And most importantly, once you clear yourself up from the inside, you have a clear conscience of how to think about the next situation. And now you can bring love into the picture, because some people will hurt you just because. Some people will do something to you just because. And yes, sometimes, because we're human, it's hard to forgive. It's hard to tell someone, hey, I forgive you for doing what you did to me. I forgive you for, accusing me of something that wasn't right. The best thing you can do, the best power you can have, is to forgive, release, and let go. Don't carry something into your future that happened 20 years ago, 30 years ago. That's called dead weight. And so you've added that weight onto you, and now you're still carrying this dead weight. You wonder when people say, man, when I finally just released and let go, it's like the weight dropped off my shoulders. That's truly a thing that happens. Literally, weight drops off your shoulders. The pressure of holding that drops off your shoulders. You start to have a clear conception of how to think, of what to think. But for so many years, for 20, 30 years, 10 years, you've been holding on to something. And sometimes people don't understand. The crazy thing is, the person or the situation that you have a grudge on, or you still have unforgiveness to, that person has moved on. That person has forgiven you. Even you may not have forgiven that person, or you may not have forgiven the situation. It has moved on. The beauty about life and the beauty about time is that it never skips a beat. It keeps going day after day after day after day. And time doesn't look backwards. Time keeps moving forward.
And that's the thing, like you said, for forgiveness to the person that hurt you, they've moved on. They've already gone forward. And what people don't seem to understand about forgiveness, and I didn't understand it for a time in my life as well, is that forgiveness is not for them. It's not for the people who wronged you. Forgiveness is for you. Forgiveness is not telling them, because that's what people say, well, if I forgive them, Dan, then I'm telling you it's okay. If I'm giving them a green light to do it again. No, you're not. No, you're not. Forgiveness does not mean that you're telling them that it's okay. Forgiveness is you telling them it wasn't okay, but you want to move forward. And that's for you. Because like Juanita said, people move forward, right? They hurt you and they continue on with their life. Not that they don't care. Some people do, some people don't, but they move on with their lives. Forgiveness is for you. It's for you to drop the dead weight that Juanita's talking about. It's for you to drop the baggage. People don't get that forgiveness isn't about them. It's not about who wronged you. It's about you. It's about you letting go of the baggage. And Juanita, just to go to that point, just what you can say about that from your perspective of, you know, that forgiveness is never about the person who wronged you. Forgiveness is about you letting go of the baggage. It's about you saying what has happened to me in my past, I am not going to let negatively affect me in my future.
It's growth. It's maturity. It's a state of mind. It's a state of acceptance for yourself. You hear all the time people say, it's very important to have self-care. You've heard me say that numerous of times. It's very important to be self-aware. It's very important to have self-care. Take care of yourself. I've known people for years that have said, I mean, older people, younger people, I've known them for years that have said, I'm still mad at, this person, or I'm still mad at this situation. And I go back and I ask, well, when did that happen? When did all this take place? All this took place in 19 or this took place, 5 years ago. I said, okay, how is the person? Tell me a little bit about the inside scoop about the person. And they, I see them on Facebook, and, it's like they don't care. It's like they're living their life, and, they're traveling and they're doing all these things. You mentioned something a little while ago, Dan. It's not that the person doesn't know what happened. It's just that the person has said, you know what? I've grown to a level of maturity, whereas things happen in life that two people don't agree with sometimes. And it's okay for one person to be wrong. It's okay for the other person to be wrong. But when you can come to a place in yourself and go, you know what? I forgive them. I let it go. You don't even have to call the person back on the phone sometimes and just say, hey, I want to tell you I forgive you. And it is good to do it. It is good to call, if you can. Call them on the phone and say, will you forgive me? That's a level of maturity. That's a level of growth that when you grow up, you know how they use this word level up? When you level up in your mind, when you level up in who you are as an adult, you drop childish things and you start to become more mature. You start to see life different. You start to understand that life is bigger than the situation that happened 5 years ago. Life is bigger than the situation that happened, 10, 20 years ago. Sometimes people never get the opportunity to go back and say, will you forgive me? Or I'm sorry. Or, you know what? I forgive you. You may not get a chance to do that. But what you can do right now in your house, at your office, in your car, you can say, you know what? I forgive them. I forgive the situation that happened. I forgive people that have done things to me. I forgive, people that have tried to misuse me. I forgive people that have tried to mislead me. I forgive people that have tried to, people that have tried to misuse me. I forgive people that tried to accuse me of things that was never misaccused. I forgive them all. I forgive people that are even in my future that don't even know who I am, that just want to envy me and jealous me. I forgive them. Because here's the reality. You cannot control how somebody else thinks. You cannot control how somebody else feels. What you can control is what you can control. And what can we control? Our emotions, the way we talk, the way we act, the way we think. We can control some things. We can control who we allow to be our friends. We can control who we allow to come into our circle. Sometimes we cannot control who walks in our path. But what we can control is how we respond to that. I was going to read something to you, Dan. We say all the time, the Lord's Prayer. We say, our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thy is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever. Amen. And people stop there.
Yeah.
But they don't go to verse 14. They don't go to verse 15 that says this. For if you forgive men, I'm reading this out of the New King James Version. For if you forgive men their trespasses, your heavenly Father will also forgive you. But if you do not forgive men their trespasses, neither will your heavenly Father forgive your trespasses. Here's the reality. We do things every single day that we need forgiveness for. Not one person is perfect. Every single time we point the finger ahead at something, there's a thumb pointing back at us. There's a middle finger pointing back at you, an index, a middle finger, ring finger, and a pinky finger pointing back at you. When you point the finger at something ahead, there's always fingers pointing back at you. So the reality is, if somebody else has thrown a stone at you, don't pick up a stone and throw it back at them. Just turn the other cheek and become mature. Just turn the other cheek and think, you know what? Years from now, you hear this, you've heard this before. Years from now, you're going to look back at this and it's all going to make sense. And you're going to go, man, whew, that was so childish. Or you're going to go, man, I can't believe that happened. That's because when you drop childish things, you grow up and you start thinking with the clear conception. You start thinking with a clear mind. You get closer with your walk with Christ. Your relationship becomes more developed. And now you start to understand the true meaning of love. Because if people have children, right, and they understand this, the children feel like they deserve everything under the sun. When they say they feel like they should get it. But when you tell the child no, automatically in that child's head, that child goes, I'm not going to forgive you. You turned me down. You told me I couldn't do this. And now what do parents start doing? Parents start teaching their children the importance of why the answer was no, but also they start teaching their children the importance of why not to hold a grudge, why to forgive. Don't stop your future blessings by past generational things that happened in the past that you have no control over. You have no control of. But what you do have control of is where you are in your time right now, where you are in your life right now. You can control this situation. Don't allow something in the past to continue to affect you in your future. Don't allow something in the past to continue to keep you held hostage and held captive in your mind, in your brain. Don't allow past situations to keep you in the past. It is 2021. It is time to release, let go, refocus, rejuvenate, realign, and redirect yourself in the place that you want to be for this season, not for the past season. If we're still battling past demons, you can never move forward and get healed now.
Yeah. You know, and that's the thing is, if you're allowing your past to hold you down, it's like quicksand. You can't move forward if you're pulling yourself down. You know, it is quicksand. It is baggage. I've talked about it as a lot of different things here on the show. You hold on to your past, you hold on to your anger, you hold on to this and that. You essentially are standing in quicksand. Every time you try to get out, you're going down a little bit deeper. When you try to go on a plane with 17 bags, you can't get on the plane because you can't bring 17 bags. You got to bring one carry-on and one personal item, right? So it's reality of you cannot function with all this baggage. You can't carry it at all through the airport. You don't have enough hands. You don't have more than one back. You don't have, you can pull it with this and pull it with that, but you don't have enough. And it's going to take you forever to get anywhere. Picture somebody being in the airport right now with 17 bags. They got to attach them all to each other. They got to pull them and drag. It's like dragging an elephant. They can't do it. You can't do it. Maybe you can, but eventually, what are you doing it for? It's going to take you 3 hours to get upstairs. It might take you 3 hours to go a half a mile. So think about that. The next time that you're worried about something and you're dragging something along and this, that, and whatever, think about the baggage that you carry. Think about what it's doing to you and how it's affecting your life. Think about standing in quicksand. Because, again, forgiveness is not about them. It's about you. It's about releasing yourself from the stress, releasing yourself from the pain. Why would you want to feel pain every day? Why would you want to be reminded every day of what somebody did to you? Oh, they hurt me. They hurt me. Oh, they hurt me. And I have people do that. Juanita, you brought it up. I had somebody say that to me. 15 years ago, you forgot this and that. And I'm sitting there looking at them going, 15 years ago? I don't want to be worried about 15 minutes ago. 15 years ago? And if that's how you're living your life, you're in quicksand all the time. Hey, Dan, you didn't call me on my birthday 17 years ago. You called me the day after. I'll never forgive you for that. I'm sorry, did I call you? Well, you called me the day after, and I just can't get past it. Did someone stab you? No. Did someone pour acid on you? No. Did someone burn your house down? No. What is... What is... I called you the day after? Yeah, you called me the day after, and I don't know how to forgive you for it. You don't know how to forgive me for what? That I care about you and I love you and I got to the phone call the day after? Man, I have over 2,000 numbers in my phone. What am I going to do? If not all 2,000 of those people call me on my birthday, on the day of my birthday, oh, I got 1,300 people I'm mad at today. I mean, think about the craziness of it when you put it out there. I don't care when you call me. I just hope you do. And there's some people that I don't talk, some of my friends I don't talk for years, and we pick up right where we left off. It's about the love, and it's about what people give. It's about how you feel when you're around them, and it's about, you know, do they fill your cup, or do they drink it all and, you know, take it away, so to speak. And my cup runneth over. But it runneth over because I'm not worried about what happened 10 minutes ago, 15 years ago, when I was a baby. You know, one of the friends that I have in my life, we went through, well, all my friends, we've gone through ups and downs. One of my friends, we went through a long period of being together and a long period of not. And I could turn around and say to him every day, you know, for 14 years, blah, 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 and you were here, and when this happened. Why? He's here now. He's here now. And yeah, it hurt back then, but why do I want to hurt now? And what good is it going to do to him if he's trying to be a better person and a better friend, and I keep reminding him of when he wasn't? So, Juanita, I mean, think about that. Why would you want to constantly be reminded of when you screwed up? Would you want somebody to do that to you?
You know, that's the point that we're trying to get all of our listeners, all of our viewers to see and to realize. I personally wouldn't want, you know, honestly, you know how basketball is. Basketball is very, you know, it's a really touchy sport, right? Yeah. And some people really hold grudges, you know, that they lost the game to you in 2004, you know, and their team was supposed to be the top team, and they were the number one team, and then all of a sudden this number 5 team comes in and knocks off the number 1 team and shatters their opportunity to go to the championship. And the number 5 team now moves up to the number 1 seed because they went on a winning streak. And the people that were number 1 on the number 1 team, they are now upset and holding a grudge at the number 5 team for doing their job to knock them off, right? And you still have people today that still hold grudges because they feel like you should have never used your talent to knock us off. The reality behind what I just said, right, is sometimes people are not going to be happy at nothing that you do. If that's not the correct English, sometimes people are never going to be happy at anything that you do. It doesn't matter how far you go up. It doesn't matter how far you go. They're not going to be happy with what you have going on. They're not going to care with what you have going on. Is it right for people to continuously hold grudges and still feel bad and still? No. Does it feel good? No. Why? Because you do something, we do something every single day that will probably rub somebody else the wrong way. And all the people that we see and meet, knowing or unknowing if we're hurting their feelings or if we're not hurting their feelings, how in the world are we supposed to go around saying, I apologize, I'm sorry, forgive me, I apologize, I'm sorry, forgive me? You can't. Some people dislike you just because you woke up. Yeah. Some people dislike you just because of the way you look. Some people dislike you because they jumped out of a relationship with you and jumped into another relationship with somebody else, and now they're holding a grudge against you because now you want to better yourself because you felt that something in the relationship was toxic, and now they're trying to move on. They don't want to be held back by your negligence. They don't want to be held back. They've tried and tried and tried for years, and now they don't want to keep hearing the same sad story that's continuously discrediting their emotions, pulling them down. They're trying to free themselves from that. But one thing I do know, misery loves company. Yeah. And if misery can attach to a healed person and draw them into their negligence, draw them into their negativity, draw them into their mindset. Now they've joined forces. We as people that have a clear mindset, that have a clear conception of what we want in life, knowing that life, you have to have a part of forgiveness, because every single day you wake up, people are not going to do exactly what you see for them to do. Every day is not going to be peaches and cream, roses, and people are going to be throwing flowers at your feet. It's not going to be that, right? It's going to be driving down the street and somebody just mean mug you. It's going to be driving down the street and somebody just flick you off for no reason. It's going to be driving down the street and, you miss a turn, you accidentally, you try to get back into the turn, you waste coffee on yourself, you get to the office and you're upset because your dog accidentally tripped you coming out the door, which made you have to scar your knee up. And now you are minutes late because of all these things. What, you go into the office, upset at everybody because something happened before you got to the office, and now you want to contaminate and discredit everybody around you because something happened before you got to the office?
Yeah.
Think about this, people. Life goes on with your emotions or without your emotions.
Yeah.
Life continues to keep moving. The beautiful thing I love about a plane, when a plane gets ready to take off, with you or without you, that plane is getting in the air.
Yeah.
It has an appointed time to take off, and it has an
From
appointed time
his studio,
to with you or without you. The best thing is be
From
on
his-
the plane when it's going up. Be on the plane when it's leveling.
from his studios,
Be on the outside of the plane in the window looking in, waiting your turn. You have an opportunity to jump on the plane. That was your boarding time, to jump on the plane. This is your boarding time right now, to jump on the plane of forgiveness and take yourself up. Take yourself to a new level. Take your mind to a new understanding. This is your time to jump on the plane right now. Your plane has not been delayed. Your plane is not going to reroute you to another place. This plane is going to take you right into forgiveness, right into dropping the dead weight. As Dan said earlier, you don't want to, the plane only takes 17 luggages. You don't want to put your 25 extra bags on there. Jump on this plane and take yourself up in the air, meaning level up. You have unexpected blessings on the other side once you drop that dead weight and just simply say, you know what, Father, I forgive, not for them, I forgive for me.
Yeah.
I don't want to keep holding them into my life, into my future right now. And they're married with a husband and a wife, or they're married with kids, and they're married. They keep getting promotion after promotion after promotion, and I keep seeing their Facebook page, and I'm hating on them because they have that. Don't do that. Don't be that type of person. You are stopping your growth and stopping your blessing every time you go to that person's page and hate on them. Every time you come in with a bad attitude and you're holding grudges from something that somebody else did in a whole other state, in a whole other country, and you're still holding on to stuff from the past. Release, let go, and move forward. Life is so much more beautiful when you understand who you are, when you prepare yourself for what's to come, not what happened. What's to come. There's a lesson in every storm. There's a blessing in every storm. How are you willing to deal with this lesson? How are you willing to deal with this lesson? What have you learned from this lesson? We are supposed to be students of life. We're not the teacher. We're a teacher only based off of our experiences. But even when we get to the level that we've reached, the experience level, we turn another age. We turn another chapter, and we learn something else on that chapter because we've never been there before.
Yeah.
Get on the plane. This is your boarding time. Level up. When that time comes where the plane has to land and send you, put you on that path, that straight pathway, now you're at your destination. Level up. When the plane comes down, you should be so much more freer because that dead weight has completely dropped it. And now you have a clear conception, a clear mind, a clear understanding. You've realigned yourself. You've refocused yourself. You've redirected yourself. Level up. Speak life. I can. I will succeed. Say that all the time. It'll help you drop dead weight because now you're focusing on the future of you. You're focusing on not thinking about the past. You're saying, I can. I will succeed. It's not about what somebody else did. It's truly about how you perceive yourself. Drop the dead weight, let it go, level up, and prepare yourself for the next opportunity. not past experiences. We did a show a long time ago. You can't do anything looking back in the past.
Yeah.
You can't do anything looking out the rearview mirror. You have to look forward.
All said beautifully. You know, you got to move forward. People move on with their lives. You know, it's funny how, you know, people say to me, like, you don't talk about your ex, you don't look them up on social media, you don't talk about this, and I was like, why would I? What good does they do to look me up? Listen, I'm happy, Juanita. I'm going to be happy. I got God. I got me. I got my loved ones. I do what I love. I love what I do. I'm going to be happy. Why do I want to bring somebody down? Why go backwards? Oh, I want to see how my best friend is doing from grammar school. We don't talk anymore. We got in a fight over a girl when we were in 5th grade. Let me see how they live it. Who cares? I hope the best for them. But what does it matter? I tell people all the time, I don't have time to hear the people that hate me because I'm busy. I got stuff to do. I got things going on. And Juanita, I want to give you a shout out because you are the MVP of this week for putting mean mugging into our segment. The fact that you got mean mugging in here, the fact that you slid that in, you are the MVP of this week. So I heard mean mugging, I'm like, oh, she did it. So, but you know, I love that. And it's going to make me feel better because when somebody cuts me off in traffic, I'm going to be like, man, they mean mugging. You know, like, I got to see it a different way. I can't be mad. I can't be upset with it. But it's reality. I mean, it's just, if you think about everybody that cuts you off, if it's that easy to get to you, you're going to get got to every day. So make it a little bit harder. Have a little bit thicker skin. Be a little bit more in love with life and the blessing that God gave you and with you. And start focusing on what you have. Be happy that you have the ability to drive a car. Be happy, number one, that you're alive. This is what I want you to do the next time you're driving. And you're, oh my gosh, you know, this person cut me off and I'm so mad and I'm going to worry about it all day. Be happy you're alive to drive. Be happy you can drive. Be happy you have enough money to have that car. Be happy that that car is on a road that somebody paid for you. Be happy that you're going somewhere and that you have something going on today and that you're not just sitting at home doing nothing and that you actually have somewhere to be. Think about all those things, and you have the wherewithal to do it. You have your arms to drive, you have your legs to hit the pedals, and you have a brain that understands what you need to do when you're out there. Be happy you're not sitting in a hospital bed. The next time somebody cuts you off, think about the 150 million ways God blessed you just to sit in a car. And if that doesn't work, then think about Juanita saying mean mugging. It makes me happy. So, with that, Juanita, I want to thank you for being a part of today's show, and I love you as always.
Love you too, man. Take care.
Take care. That coming from Juanita Ward here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports truly meets that thing called life. We'll take a step aside on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. We will be back with the announcement of the top dog of the week. Forgive people. Forgiveness is for you. It's not for them, and it's not saying that it's okay what they did. Forgiveness is for you. So forgive. 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 Forgive so you can let go and get out of that quicksand and stop carrying all that baggage to the airport and enjoy your life. We'll take a step aside for a fast break. We'll bring you the top dog of the week right after this. In these unique times, there are those in our community that give us a sense of normalcy and positivity. Pizza Man on 50 Oswego Street in Baldwinsville has been here for you for over 35 years and is here now. Call 315-638-1234 or order online at pizzamanbville.com to bring those familiar tastes into your home. And remember to come see our monthly on-site broadcasts centered around the community and our Baldwinsville beats. Pizza Man in Baldwinsville. Any way you slice it, they are always here for you.
I'm George Townsend of Honda City with some good advice when buying a new car. The true cost of owning a new car is determined by the appraised value when you trade it. No vehicle appraises higher than a Honda. Next, look for low APRs and deep discounts. You also want low maintenance costs and great fuel economy. That's why my advice to you is to buy a new Honda. Looking pre-owned, visit our Honda Certified Used Car Center. Honda City, 7140 Henry Clay Boulevard, Liverpool, or HondaCity-CNY.com.
It would be a pity if you don't shop at Honda City. This is Jimmer Sikowski, owner-operator of Chick-fil-A Cicero, 7916 Brewerton Road in Cicero, right in front of the Home Depot. I had a deep feeling that God wanted me to do something bigger with my life and to help people, help others. I kept putting Chick-fil-A in my life, and I realized as I was going through the franchise selection process that positively impacting the lives of others was really core to what we do here at Chick-fil-A. First of all, it starts with the food. The food is brought in fresh daily. We bring in local produce. We prepare to order in the kitchen. We hand bread our chicken. We hand spin our milkshakes. It's great food. It doesn't taste like fast food. I think the second thing is the way people feel when they come in a Chick-fil-A restaurant. It's different. We try to treat people with intentional kindness here, which is very different and deeper than good customer service. And so I think it feels remarkable for most people to come in a Chick-fil-A restaurant. And then lastly, the impact that we try to have in the community is very different. It's a big part of the expectation of every operator of a Chick-fil-A restaurant is that they're actively engaged in their community, they're a leader in the community, and they're making a difference. When they realize that what we're striving to do is to shine a little light in their life, that's a very, very different experience than you will have in any other quick service restaurant. And it's that remarkable experience that I think people will emotionally connect with.
Welcome back here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora on wakeupcalldt.com, your one-stop sports shop, and on mixlr.com/wakeupcalldt, where you're listening live to internet streaming radio all throughout the world. You're also watching us live on facebook.com/live-now-dt, facebook.com/wakeupcalldt, and on youtube.com/wakeupcalldt. So however you're connected with us, thank you so much for joining our TGIF show here today on May 21st, which means that I am more than halfway to my birthday. So I'm very excited. I love the 21. It's my favorite number. Obviously, I was born on October 21st. So happy May 21st to you wonderful people out there. And we're close to donning summer. Summer is June 21st. So close to doing that. Don't wish time away, though. I'm not trying to get things to go quickly by any stretch of the imagination. I want to enjoy every moment that God gives me, and I hope that you do too. Inside of the Cafe Kubal studios, so happy to be here with you. Cafe Kubal, you can go to cafekubal.com and get all their information. And of course, on their home delivery, the mobile cafe, and their neighborhood cafes. And you can go to them any day of the week. You can head out to 3501 James Street, 324 West Water Street, 208 North Townsend Street, where Kubal Co-works is, for you to be able to rent out space for your business, as well as I have a little podcasting headquarters and go up there and do the podcast. We've done that in their room when you see us at Cafe Kubal with the brick behind us. I did it with Jason Leone and Gene Waldron, and had a lot of fun up there. So Kubal Co-works right there above the cafe, and you can get in touch with them to help out your business today, as well as get the coffee and the chai and all the food and wonderful things that you like and little treats that they have at 208 North Townsend Street. You can also find them on 401 South Salina Street, 343 Fayette Street in Manlius, and of course inside of Galisano's Children's Hospital. So a lot of love and a lot of thanks to Cafe Kubal, who is consistently growing and blossoming, and I love seeing the companies that I work with excel, and Cafe Kubal is a great representation of rising through adversity, rising through the storm, and not making excuses and just doing the best that they can. So I do very much appreciate Cafe Kubal, and I will be going there and enjoying some of their stuff this weekend, and have a little fun with that. Top Dog of the Week is what's up next on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora in our beautiful list of topics for the day. Ma and Pa's Popcorn.com's What's Poppin'. Next up is the Top Dog of the Week. I honor someone every single week. Brought to you by K9 Camp Dog Daycare and K9 Kampground Dog Boarding. And it is always my honor and my privilege to do that. And you hear Miss Lily giving you that bark, which means it's time to announce our Top Dog of the Week for this week. My Top Dog of the Week for this week is Baby Blackwell. That's right. Little baby Blackwell here, being born to the world on May 19th, 2021, less than 48 hours ago, born at 10:22 p.m., 6 pounds, 9 ounces, 19 and a half inches. Baby Blackwell, Ryan Blackwell, who played for Syracuse and is now the Liverpool Warriors boys basketball head coach. He now has his own child and life coming full circle. What a beautiful, beautiful thing here. Ryan, unfortunately, had his dad pass earlier this year. And so from his dad passing, as one life returned to heaven, one life comes down from heaven. So baby Blackwell, so happy that that Ryan has a little one here to look after and to raise and to be a dad. And, now his dad, as his guardian angel, will be up in heaven, I am sure, guiding him and guarding him and helping him to make good decisions, and to really, just know what it's like to be a dad and how to be a dad. So very happy that baby Blackwell is here for us in this beautiful world. I'm going to share a picture, actually, if I may here. So let me do that here now. I want to share a little picture of baby Blackwell. Maybe I'll share a couple of them. But yes, our top dog of the week this week, because it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing to welcome this little one into the world, and it's a beautiful thing for Ryan to have this opportunity as well as Keto. And I'm so happy for them, and it's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful thing. I'm actually going to bring the pictures up right here in the studio. I'm going to pop the pictures up here so you can see them. But I want to, to all the new parents out there, shout out to my nephew. Very happy to have a new nephew. I think now I have 13 nieces and nephews in total. So shout out to my newest, Jameson Jack Essif. A shout out to you, buddy, and a shout out to Jen for being amazing, delivering this little one to the world, and of course to my buddy Matt for being amazing in this as well. So here's Ryan. So we're going to bring Ryan up here and show you some pictures of the baby as we bring him up here in the studio. Want to show you what little baby Blackwell looks like. Look at this little honey bunny. So, there's something beautiful about these little ones. So that's baby Blackwell, and honoring baby Blackwell here as the top dog of the week, and honoring mom Keto and honoring dad Ryan. Congratulations to the Blackwell family. We appreciate you. We send you our love. I love my friendship with you, Ryan, and I can't wait to see this little one grow up and all the things that you're going to do, and how your father will live through you and truly be a part of this wonderful new life in the world and all the good things that will come. And anytime you need me, Ryan, I'm there. So I just so happy for you. It's such a blessing, and it's such a beautiful thing. So my top dog of the week this week, to all the moms, to all the future moms and future dads, current moms and current dads, those that just became a mom and dad, and those that have been a mom and dad, and those mom and dads in heaven, and those mom and dads here on earth, and them little babies that make us all moms and dads. So shout out to baby Blackwell, to Ryan, and to Keto. God bless to each and every single one of you. No stress, and do your best. We'll take a step aside for a fast break. When we come back, we'll have a little bit of a discussion here on some things going on in the sports world before we get into my conversation, my video chat with Cam Lynch, Syracuse and NFL linebacker alum. So once again, the top dog of the week this week has to be baby Blackwell and mom and dad Blackwell. So congratulations to the fam, and welcome to the world, you little sweet one. I hope nothing but the best for you. Top dog of the week brought to you by K9 Kamp Dog Daycare and K9 Kampground Dog Boarding. K9 Kamp Dog Daycare, located on 228 Old Bridge Street in East Syracuse, and right down the road, the Kampground for dog boarding for longer-term care for your furry-loving friends on 242 Johnson Street in East Syracuse. Both of them right off of Bridge Street, and make sure you find your way over to them today and let them know that Wake Up Call sent you, and you will not be disappointed. With that being stated, we'll take a step aside for our fast break. When we come back around, we'll have more to discuss as Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora finishes up this beautiful week of May and sends you off in a positive way here where sports meets life, inside of the Cafe Kubal studios.
Avicoli's Restaurant, located right at the corner of Route 57 and Wetzel Road, is proud to be your local neighbor, growing with you for over 20 years. We're open 7 days a week for lunch, dinner, and drinks. For takeout, delivery, or catering, call us at 315-622-5100. When you order online and use our promo code AVS10, you will save 10% on your online purchase at myavicolis.com. And make sure to join us monthly for our live on-site broadcasts centered around Liverpool athletics. Avicoli's, your local, trusted neighbor right at the corner of Route 57 and Wetzel Road.
Having peace of mind when you're out of town that your furry-loving friend is safe and sound means taking them to Canine Kampground, because we all know that when it comes to the love of our pets, it goes well beyond the call of duty to make sure they're safe and sound. Right, Lily? So take a ride to 242 Johnson Street in East Syracuse, New York, and see Canine Kampground and where your dog will be staying, in the classic cabin, the executive cabin, the grand cabin, or of course the luxury cabin, because if you know Lily, you know she loves luxury. Now you don't have to wait to the last minute to find a family member or a friend that'll take your dog for a few days. Call Canine Kampground at 315-299-4013. That's 315-299-4013. Their drop-off and pickup times are Monday through Sunday. Check K9Kampground.com for more information. That's the letter K, the number 9, and Kampground spelled with a K.com. K9Kampground.com.
When you're going out of town, bring your dog to Canine Campground.
Welcome back here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora on wakeupcalldt.com, your one-stop sports shop, and on mixlr.com/a wakeupcalldt, here with you every single Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time. You're watching on facebook.com/wakeupcalldt, facebook.com/livenowdt, and on youtube.com/wakeupcalldt. So a ton of great ways to connect with the show, and I'm so happy to have you here where sports meets that thing called life. Much appreciation to all of you. I did want to show you something, so I'm gonna move this out here in the studio because this is something new that you haven't seen in the studio before. This is my hat rack. Now these aren't all of my hats, but this is actually my hat rack. My mom is awesome in how she got me this thing years ago that fit. One of my favorites there. Got the vintage Raptors, but that looks like the actual jersey as the hat. Got the Toronto Huskies up top, but I got a ton of different things here. Got the Gardner Minshew with the bandana or the headbands and the facial hair. We got the Charlotte Hornets. We got Cornell. Got Hard Rock from Punta Cana that my mom got me. We got a Blue Jays Spider-Man. Captain America, my Diamondbacks. What else we got here? We got Puppy Love. Of course, we have Syracuse, the Pinstripe Bowl. A lot of Syracuse all through here. So, a lot of good stuff. But this is what I do in the morning when I want to decide what I'm wearing. Just spin the hats. And then we stop. And then we pick one, like this one. So, yeah, I got another Toronto Huskies. Love the Toronto Huskies. It's the old Toronto Raptors. So, just roll with it, and I got roll with it. I got a bunch of stuff here. So, big fan of all of this, but yeah, so I got this, I put this in the studio, but I've had this, and it's my hat rack. So, it's my hat, it's like my little hat thing, but I think it's awesome. It's a nice addition to the studio, so very excited to be able to show you that today. I'm going to probably do a video or something cool with it, but I got a lot of stuff. I have Pluto under here, too. So, I got everything. Like literally everything. I got the Green Ranger hat, little Green Ranger vintage hat up here, a little leather. Got to do it up right. Got to do it up big. So yeah, a little addition to the studio. And I say that because I've done some things to the studio that you can't see, and maybe we'll showcase them as we go. But a lot of cool things going on in the studio here today. and just having some fun and very excited about it. Speaking of having fun, thank you, Ross, that said Happy Friday show and have a great weekend. You too, brother. Much love to you. So let me make sure we respond to Mr. Ross, but and everybody that knows the show knows that Ross has been on the show plenty of times, and he means the world to me. So Northeast PA writer and broadcaster, based out there in Northeast Pennsylvania, just a couple hours from right here in central New York. So I want to show him love and appreciate him as always. You can check out Ross Turetsky, search him online. You'll be able to read some of his articles and see what he's all about. He's a fantastic human being. He's incredibly talented, and he knows so much. So I definitely do appreciate everything that Ross does. He's one of my closest, nearest, and dearest friends, one of my best friends, and I'm just honored by him every single day, like a brother to me. He is a brother to me, so much love to him. Speaking of good news, Tim Tebow, guess what? Years in the making. I've been talking about it over the years. I feel like it made me want to do my Trump when I did. Talking about it, and oh my gosh, and I'm right here, and then he's over there, and it's totally fine. Totally fine. So, but I mean, Tim is now a Jacksonville Jaguar, which is totally great. And I'm very excited about it. He's on as a tight end. Listen, he's jump pass. He'll do a bunch of stuff probably. He's with Urban Meyer. Okay? And I'll talk about this with Papa Joe, I'm sure, this coming week. But he's with Urban Meyer. And he won championships with Urban Meyer. And I understand it was in college, but it was in the SEC. Okay? This is Florida. This ain't no chump change. I'm very excited about Tim Tebow coming to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Some people like it, some people don't. I'm totally fine with it. If he has the talent to make the team, then he should make the roster spot. Not for a publicity stunt, not to put butts in the seats, which it will do, but to actually help the team to win ultimately, because that's what you want to do. I think Tim is somebody great to just have in the locker room just to help you out because of his positivity and what he brings to the table, and I'm excited to see what he can do. I really am excited to see what Tim can do on this team, and I'm looking forward to the opportunity of him being able to showcase, himself and to show the world what he is capable of. I mean, this is a man, he's not that old. The stars aligned, okay? He's from the Jacksonville area. He played at Florida. Urban Meyer was his coach. Urban Meyer recruited him. Now Urban Meyer's in Jacksonville, and he just retired from baseball. And if you thought that he retired from baseball and that had nothing to do with Urban Meyer in Jacksonville, I just feel like it did. The stars just all came together. They aligned. They fit. They worked. He's here. There's an opportunity, and you can listen. He's not going to be the quarterback. Trevor Lawrence is the quarterback. But if you look in history and you look at quarterbacks winning championships and what they're able to do and whatnot, when you look at all of that and you look at, college football and success, who wouldn't want Tim Tebow and Trevor Lawrence to be on the same team? And Gardner Minshew's still there. It's ridiculous. Tim Tebow, Travis Etienne, James Robinson coming out of the gate doing what he's done. DJ Chark, Laviska Shenault, all those guys being there. Trevor Lawrence. I mean, come on. So to me, it makes a team that could have their traditional quarterback in Trevor Lawrence more dynamic with having Tim Tebow, because now you can do trick plays. Now you can do a bunch of different things. Now you got somebody in your arsenal that's a jack of all trades. He's going to do what he needs to do. And maybe he didn't want to play tight end for anybody else, and maybe it humbled him over the years, and maybe he learned something, and maybe he just wants to get on the field, or maybe he just wants to be with Urban again. Maybe he wants to end his sports career in the place that he calls home. Maybe he wants to don the Jaguars teal to be able to get back out on the field and see what it's like to have, that love and support from people that are going to show up. Listen, this has been something I wanted to see for years. I think it's great for the community. I think it's great for Tim. It's great for the fans. It's a great way to tie everything up in his career. It is, he's a talented guy. He's an inspirational guy. He's got a strong faith. There's a lot of good that can be had by this. I don't see how carrying Tim Tebow on your roster is a bad thing. Now, is he going to be your most perfect tight end? Maybe not. But is he going to be effective when he has to come in there and run the ball, or he has to come in there and throw a pass, or whatever it may be? I think it's helpful. I think having Tim Tebow on your team automatically makes the Jacksonville Jaguars more exciting to watch. And, I think it gives them more in their locker room. It gives them more positivity. It gives them somebody who knows how to, again, Trevor Lawrence and Tim Tebow, for what they have done in their college careers, to think of them both on the same team is awesome. It's just awesome. To put that together and to really sit back and go, if I could put a team together and I had Tim Tebow and Trevor Lawrence, why wouldn't I do that? So, I'm excited about it. I feel good about it. And I think it'll work out. So, he'll try to make the final roster as a tight end. Tyler Davis is there. Chris Manhertz was brought in the offseason, and James O'Shaughnessy's been there for a minute. And so we'll see what can happen. He's 33 years old. He last played in the NFL in 2012 in a regular season game. He had a training camp with the Patriots in 2013 and the Eagles in 2015. So, and then he went to baseball and spent 4 years with the New York Mets minor league system. Obviously, he was in Binghamton with the Mets. He was here in Syracuse with the Mets. Now, the hope is that he will, obviously bring something to the table here. And Urban Meyer said, quote, he was in the best shape of his life, asked to see if he could work out with a couple of our coaches. I wasn't even there. They came back to me and said, wow, this guy's in incredible shape. Then I went another time and watched them try him out. And they said, go work on these things. He comes back later. They try him out again. I'm not there. They come in and they said, wow, this guy's ball skills. He's a great athlete. He looks like he's 18 years old, not 33. I said, guys, you don't understand. Now this guy is the most competitive maniac you're ever going to talk to, and let's give it a shot, end quote. I love that quote from Urban Meyer, that Tim Tebow is, quote, the most competitive maniac. This guy is the most competitive maniac you're ever going to talk to. That's a cool quote to have. So, there is no standout tight end on the Jaguars roster. There's not. They tried with Josh Oliver. They drafted him and brought him in, and he never stayed healthy. So, God bless to him as he moves forward. I believe he's in Baltimore. But, what it comes down to is, to me, I think it's a good idea. I do. I think it's a good idea for a lot of reasons. I think it's great for Tim to be home. I think it's great for Tim to get back on the field. I think it's great for the fans. I think it's great for the community. I think it's great for positivity. And, the fact of having him in the locker room, like I was saying. He's just the inspiration that he brings and the positivity that he brings. I just think it'll be good. Now, you don't want it to be like him versus Trevor Lawrence and like who wants to follow who. You don't want it to turn into that. So I think, they have to be a complement to each other, and Tim's going to have to understand that Trevor's the leader of this team, and because that's, you take on the role of a quarterback. So, you got a former quarterback trying to play another position, and you got somebody who's a quarterback trying to play quarterback. You got to hope that they play nice, but, let's say that they do. This team benefits from having a jack of all trades and a very competitive and faith-filled guy, an inspirational guy in Tim Tebow, that is coupled with Trevor Lawrence, who's extremely talented, who's going to be obviously running the offense and running this team. So I think it can be a great thing as long as it can coexist, and it's definitely better than the things that were trying to coexist in Jacksonville before, with the overwhelming amount of negativity, negative publicity, and just drama that was brought by some of the players that are no longer there. So I think you can only go up from here. I hope that it works out. I've wanted to see Tim Tebow there, and I agree that him at quarterback is not going to win them a Super Bowl, but him on the team could do some justice and help them out and do some positive things. So I'm excited to seeing it, and I'm looking forward to it. So I'm going to give it a shot. With that being said, we'll take a step aside for a fast break. When we come back, we will be joined by the man here inside of MonPazPopcorn.com's What's Poppin'. Be joined by Cam Lynch to get an update from the former Syracuse and NFL linebacker who found his way to broadcasting at the Super Bowl and being a part of the 2021 NFL Draft. We'll get into what's been going on in Cam's life right after this on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora from inside of the Cafe Kubal studios.
Cafe Cabal Mobile Cafe brings the cafe experience to you. We'll roll out to your neighborhood or office, ready to serve our locally crafted espresso bar to our loyal patrons. Inquire at cafecabal.com. Cafe Cabal, coffee for the soul.
Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory, located on 201 7th North Street in Liverpool, is home to over 40 flavors with more than 200 flavors in their total wheelhouse. Sky's the limit for this sweet and savory Central New York company. Keep it local at your parties, fundraisers, wedding showers, baby showers, and more by calling 315-450-MA-PA. That's 315-450-6272 for popcorn bars with custom flavors and colors at your upcoming event. Make sure to visit them on 201 7th North Street in Liverpool, New York. And for more information, go to maandpassnacks.com. Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory. How corny are you? The Millhouse Market, located on 3790 New York 13 in Pulaski, New York, is absolutely positively worth the drive every time. Make sure you download their app on the Apple app or Google Play Store so you can get all of their beautiful menu right at your fingertips. The app was so easy to use, and somehow, some way, over the last couple months, they made it even easier. They have a map to help you figure out exactly where you are and how to get to the Millhouse Market. And they have updated and upgraded all of their already fantastic software that make it so easy to order there. The only thing that's difficult about ordering on the app is trying to figure out how to choose between your favorites and how to choose between all of the salads, the quinoa bowls, the rice bowls, to the brick oven pizzas, the desserts, the homemade breads, and of course, the sandwiches that are named after the families that helped to settle today's Pulaski. Ingrained in our community and ingrained in our taste buds, the Millhouse Market is located right there on 3790 New York 13 in Pulaski, New York, and open Tuesday through Saturday from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m., Sunday from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m., and that means the drive-through window is open for you to grab your food and go, that you can either call in or order on the app. You can also go inside for indoor dining, and you can go to their general store inside and get local products from local companies, including the honeys that I picked up and the awesome pure maple syrup. Make sure you find your way to the Millhouse Market today. 3790 New York 13 in Pulaski, New York. Worth the drive every single time. Welcome back here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. You are watching on Facebook.com/WakeUpCallDT, Facebook.com/LiveNowDT, as well as on YouTube.com/WakeUpCallDT. Hanging out here with Cam Lynch, a Syracuse and NFL alum, and happy to have Cam here. So many different things that Mr. Lynch has done throughout his history, and we're here to catch up with him and get some thoughts. So, Cam, how you doing today?
All is well, Dan. All is well. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man, I like the T-shirt, the Players Tribune. Why are you wearing that shirt today?
Yeah, that's intern there. So spent a lot of great time, and they inspired me to start my own media company. So gotta show love. Yeah, and you've been able to do a lot of different stuff. You've always been working with the media from back at Syracuse with Cam and whatnot. Where has the journey taken you? Bring us up on kind of what you've been able to do with your media side of things, and trying to obviously be on that journey and create something for yourself. Yeah, so I had a chance to start in college with Cam, like you said. Sue Edson, Syracuse SID. She basically was like, "Hey, you did a great job at Media Day." I think it was when we were just going from the Big East to the ACC. Did a great job. I know you enjoy this stuff. I'm gonna give you a camera crew. Hey, produce a show. Whoever you're gonna bring on, whatever content you want to create, go ahead and do it. It started then in my junior year of college, 2014, I would think, and then fast forward to now, I had a chance to host Super Bowl with Scott Hansen, a Syracuse alum, which was top 3 sports moment of my life. So I'm like, okay, reaching these different milestones. Now I want to work on the behind the scenes, right? Whether it be the production side, especially, when it comes to producers, kind of like the chef in the kitchen. There's not many athletes that are chefs in the kitchen when it comes to media and content. So I definitely want to take my talents to the backside of the camera and learn the production side. I started my own media company, so I've already been doing these things, but professionally, in the corporate space, I definitely want to do that production side.
Yeah, and being on, the production side of things, what I love is, broadcasting is what a lot of people, know that I do, but in college and just overall, editing, producing, directing, screenwriting, there's a lot of things. I mean, I painted a studio set, camera, operation, lighting. Like I created the ticker that we had in the studio. My teachers in college said it couldn't be done. And I was like, I sat there for 2 hours and figured it out. But, I think knowing every side of it, knowing how to, where the cameras need to be, how to take from, camera 1 to camera 2, what angles you're looking for, how's the set have to be designed to, understanding where, things have to be, when you're looking at graphics and whatnot, and just being able to orchestrate a production. I think, it's one thing to be the on-air talent, but a lot of on-air talent don't know what's going on if all the lights shut off and the cameras went down. So I think, you doing that is something that, is kind of like a page out of my own playbook as well that I can respect and appreciate. Yeah, man. It's been an interesting journey so far, and and being behind the camera is not as glamorous, right? Like you're not going to get all the shine. It's kind of like an offensive lineman almost, or like one of the coaches that are up in the booth, calling some of the plays. Is you're not out front, but you're behind the scenes making stuff happen. So that's what I'm looking forward to. You had the chance, like you said, to be out at the Super Bowl and Super Bowl out in Tampa. First time that a team ever got to host a Super Bowl in their home stadium. And obviously the first time a team got to win one. You were a Tampa Bay Buccaneer. So what can you say about being there for it? What did you get to do while you were on site at the Super Bowl? And then to have history being made just by Tampa being in Tampa and then Tampa winning in Tampa as well. Yeah, it was awesome because really, playing that stadium, I played in that stadium at Syracuse, right? We went down to Raymond James. We played USF when BJ Daniels was there. We were in the Big East, right, in 2012, I think. So, fast forward, get to play there for the Buccaneers as well. So I played there for 3 years, out in the heat, making plays, right? And then, fast forward a year after that, after retirement and working with the NFL in the front office with player marketing and communications, and having that portfolio of being in front of the camera, they're like, hey, we want somebody to host Super Bowl. It's limited because of COVID-19, so you're our guy, right? And that was just amazing for me. I was able to collaborate with my media company as well, with Troy Vincent that week. And, every Super Bowl, he partners with a player in that city, so a host player. And, we compete, we raise money, and I was able to partner with his group, capture content right through the media company. So I hired some of my team as photographers, videographers, and audiovisual people, and we were able to support him and his foundation, Vincent Country. So it was a packed week, man. And even though COVID-19 slowed things down and wasn't as busy, it was great for me because I was able to, just get some projects under my belt that I'll remember forever. For you, how did it come about that they choose you to be a part of that down in Tampa? How did that all kind of just work out? Yeah, I really think it's the development program that I was a part of, right? Basically, you have to get recommended by the team that you played for, whether it be the player engagement directors at each team. And so they refer you to the program. And so I was referred, and I applied out of all the guys that are retired, and I got in. So, I've definitely taken advantage of the programs that the NFL offers during my off seasons while playing. So whether it be the broadcast boot camps, right, where I'm spending my own money to fly to Bowling Green, Ohio, and get better in broadcasting, right? So I've did those boot camps, and it built up to this moment where they're like, hey, you've already been a part of our programs. You've already broadcast the Super Bowl, through our program. So come on and do this one. So it was really cool. And I worked under Tracy Crowman, who's the SVP of Player Marketing Communications for the entire football league. So any player that needs marketing, they go through her, right? If you communicate with the players, they go through her. And so she just snapped those fingers and made it happen. So I'm extremely grateful. you've been able to really show what it's like to build a network and utilize that network to advance yourself and how people can help people. Speak to that a little bit, how important it is to have a network, how important it is to have a good reputation, have your best foot forward, and to always be open to learning and making connections, because you have been, very fruitful in the world of networking and making sure that you get yourself out there.
Yeah, it's important. Get a mentee, you know what I mean? Get a mentee, get a mentor as well. But, I realized just going through this cycle of life in football, and sport, and business, that you have to pull people forward. You know what I mean? It's like when you're walking, you're swinging your arms, you're running. When that arm goes back, you're still looking forward, but you got to pull somebody forward with you. And so I think at the moment I have about 2, and I talk to 1, maybe 3 mentees now. But I make sure to connect with them as best as I can, once a week or once every other week, but really pour into them, right? Give them the resources that I was given, and bring them along, because it's very impactful, because, I reach out to folks and ask them to be my mentor. So I do the best I can in reaching back and giving those folks perspective and support and advice.
Who have been some of your best mentors?
Yeah, so mentors for me, Rennie Kern. He played at my high school in Brookwood in Gwinnett County, Georgia. He played at UGA, played for the Bucks and the Titans, right? So he was that linebacker who had 200 tackles, right, in a season. And I had 198, like really, chasing to reach that level. So he's been someone for me that kind of set the tone for football, business, life in general. So I'm really appreciative of him. And then also too, just the people that have played the game of football as well beforehand. At the NFL office, Usama Young, he's a director of player engagement at the NFL League office. And so he's been someone that's really guided me throughout the process, corporately and on the field as well. And then my marketing director, Whitney Holtzman, she's been amazing. She's someone that I reached out to, or didn't reach out to her, but on a radio station, like, hey, I need marketing help. And someone heard it sent her my way, and she's been someone that I've learned from these past 3 years. She helped me start my media company and so much more. So those 3 people, hats off to them, and I thank them greatly.
And you had the opportunity to work with the NFL draft recently here. That just happened a very short while ago. Bring me into that and the experience to go out to Cleveland, Ohio, and to be a part of this, not only the draft, but be a part of the resurgence of the draft coming back, people being together, Roger Goodell being on a stage, just what that was like for you.
Yeah, that was awesome, man. It was cool because, I had a chance to do the Super Bowl, right, perform on the stage. And now for this trip, I was of service, right, making sure that the players and the legends, that they got to where they needed, right, when it comes from leaving their home, wherever they live, to getting back to home. So whether it be flights, Ubers, all those things, we worked on the logistics of all that. And, COVID-19, the testing, like, it was a beast, like it was a true beast. And thankfully there was a limited number of people, because if there were a lot more, it would have been super hectic, but it was a manageable group. All the legends and the retired former players that were vaccinated went, Hall of Famers, Gold Jackets. So it was the first time seeing them up close and personal. It's like, oh, these guys are just like me. So it was really cool. And also too, just my favorite part, kind of that content capture, right? There's an NFL Legends podcast. And I've been working on that since I got into the program. And so they were capturing content in person there with Aeneas Williams, who played for the Rams just like me. And he's a Hall of Famer. And so it was cool to see him work in person. And, just kind of really excited about, bringing other Syracuse people on as well to that podcast. Riley Dixon was on it recently. Him and Rob Long, they told their story. So I thought that was really cool, just being able to reach to my network and kind of pull them to platforms like that. So, just the draft was amazing, man. Just seeing the Hall of Famers, right? Like, I need to make it to that point somehow, somewhere, whether it be in broadcasting media, but I got to get me to the Hall of Fame ring.
Yeah, and it is a beautiful thing, and a lot of Syracuse players have gotten to obviously be called to that wonderful honor of the Hall of Fame. So being able to do these different things and being able to be a part of it, how are you staying connected? How are you staying relevant? How are you staying within this to go from the Super Bowl to the draft? Like, what are you doing in your day-to-day to make sure that, Cam Lynch has a future in this world?
Yeah, I think it's stuff like this, right? Like you and I connecting and chatting, just constantly creating, constantly sharing your story is important, because a lot of times, when you do tell your story or when you do chat with the mentee, like it's a check, you know what I mean? Like, are the things coming out of my mouth, are they legit? Do I need to fix it and make sure that it's right? But stuff like that is great, because when people see it, they're like, oh, like this is what they're up to. This is really cool. So just constantly creating content, constantly sharing your story, I think is important, and updates. There's some people who aren't even on social media, who have a flip phone or a Droid, and they're like, oh, like I saw you do this and do that. So people are watching. And so constantly updating people and just being cognizant of the brand, right? And how you treat people. I think those things have helped me kind of move forward. And then I would say finally supporting people along the way, right? Because when you ask somebody, hey, what can I do for you? Like, what can I do to support you in any projects that you have going on? That goes a long way. So I've been working on doing that as well.
And I think that's huge. That's, you not only are looking to help yourself, you're looking to help other people. I think that's where, it always gives back, and there's always a way. I mean, I had an intern that told me when he came to me and he helped me do my whole festival, the CNY Pop Festival. And I was talking with him and he said, I want to work for the PGA. And a couple of years later, before this, he comes to see me. He was driving by the house and he knocked on the door and he was like, hey, Mr. Tortora, just wanted to, say hello, sit with you for a few minutes. We caught up and whatnot. And he tells me that he's working for the PGA now. So, to have that story was really funny and informative. So it's about listening. It's about gauging what people are interested in. And it's about being open-minded, because she didn't know that's what she liked and I didn't know that's what she liked. And so, it's really cool to just see people materialize into like their dreams becoming a reality.
Most definitely. Yeah, I think you hit on it at a great clip, right? You said listening. I think that's just the biggest thing, because you just never know, right? People have expectations. I want to go in, I want to do this, I want to do this. But if you just kind of listen and hear like, oh, that's something in the middle, that might be the goal there. So listening is important. And I'm glad that you did that.
It's really cool. So Cam, where can we, in closing here, what can we expect from you now?
Yeah, so now have a couple things cooking up. Hopefully by the end of the year, I get to make a nice announcement, but just working on some things, right? Some self-development, right? Investing in myself is big. A lot of things that I do are out there in the open, but I'm really working on honing in on my skills, right? My technical skills. So that's what I'm working on. Hopefully in December, y'all will hear something great, or next year as well. But self-development at the moment, self-reflection, just working on relationships as well, and doing things the right way. So a lot of exciting things coming up.
Yeah, well, I'm looking forward to it. Looking forward to the opportunity, and love the fact that I got to see you out at the Super Bowl and out at the draft. Great following your stuff, Cam, and keep doing awesome things. You and I have plenty more to talk about, but I'm happy we got a few minutes today.
Dan, thank you for reaching out as always, man. I'm always open to chat with you, so I appreciate you greatly.
All right, man. Listen, take care, and I'll talk to you soon.
All right, talk to you soon.
Coming here from Mr. Cam Lynch here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports truly meets that thing called life. Appreciate having Cam on as always, and always love catching up with him and seeing what he's got going on in his life. Very proud of the hard work and effort and enthusiasm that he's putting in out there, and love the fact that he found his way to, it's incredible. The Super Bowl, the draft, beautiful things. So very happy for Mr. Cam Lynch, and always a pleasure to be able to catch up with him and see
Back
how
here
life's
on
going and
Wake Up Call
kind
with
of,
Dan
what's on his mind
From
and
his
whatnot.
studios in
So
New
I've always
York.
very much appreciated the fact that we get to spend some time together.
It's time.
Always love getting to
Welcome
talk
back
to
here
him.
to Wake Up
Much
Call with
love
Dan
to him
Tortora
and
on
to
wakeupcalldt.com,
everything he's doing with his
your
company
one-stop
and things
sports
he's
shop,
looking to build
on
and whatnot.
mixlr.com
Always
/wakeupcalldt, where you're listening to
Mr.
internet
Cam
streaming
Lynch.
radio
So thank you to
worldwide,
Cam
and
for
of course on
being
our
here,
internet streaming
and I look
video
forward to everything
worldwide
we
on
get to talk about in the
Facebook.com
future as things continue
Welcome back here to
move
Wake Up
forward.
Call with Dan
And,
Tortora
you know,
on
just-
Welcome back here.
From
Good-
his
good
studios
for
in New York.
Thank you, Dan. Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora over the last
It's
7
time
days
for
here.
Wake Up Call with the Dan.
Beautiful.
Welcome back
beautiful
here to Wake Up
Friday.
Call with
I am
Dan
so,
Tortora on
so happy that we have the Friday that
wakeupcalldt.com,
we
your
have
one-stop
right now.
sports shop,
I hope
on
that y'all are enjoying it,
mixlr.com
and making the most of it.
/wakeupcalldt,
This
as well as on
Friday has-
facebook.com
I mean, this
/live
today, I mean,
and
if
on
you look at everything, I mean,
youtube.com
this week has been incredibly
/wakeupcalldt.
beautiful.
Welcome back here
and
to
we've been so blessed. So I hope that you're making the most of the time that you have and really appreciating the time that you have, because this has been a fantastic week of weather. There's a lot of great stuff coming up, and you got to stay positive and focus on the good things. There's so many good things out there. There's so much to be excited about. We did talk about the NBA playoffs with Dave Paziak earlier this week. I want to take a look back at the playoffs, the play-in tournament, I should say, that helped to start this thing going. And so, the NBA trying this little play-in tournament where the 7 plays the 8, the 9 plays the 10. Then the winner of the 7-8 becomes the 7 seed. The loser of the 7-8 has to play the 9-10 for the rights to move on to be the 8 seed. So looking at how, everything's kind of shaken out up to this point, to take a look at, the playoffs. Things started on Tuesday when we were talking with Mr. Dave Paziak. And on Tuesday, we saw that in the opening of this play-in tournament, this new look playoffs, Indiana defeated Charlotte and Boston defeated Washington, and then Memphis defeated San Antonio, and the Lakers defeated Golden State. And on Wednesday, so that went into Wednesday. Then on Thursday, Indiana, because Indiana moved on from Charlotte, Washington defeated Indiana, and Memphis will take on Golden State tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern Time on ESPN. So the matchups that we have right now, because of the winners, is we have Miami facing off at Milwaukee, Dallas at the Clippers, Boston at Brooklyn, and Portland at Denver. And then we have Washington at Philadelphia, the Lakers at the Suns, the Hawks at the Knicks, and to be determined tonight against Utah. So whoever wins between Memphis and Golden State will get to play Utah, the Utah Jazz. So cool to see this stuff, and great to see these happenings here and what's going on ultimately in this play-in tournament, just how it all shook out. And I've come out against it in the sense of saying, a 10 seed with a losing record can actually get in, and a 7 seed could maybe not get in. But ultimately, on the positive, I see the side of it where I'm like, why are we doing this? And why are we are we oversaturating? Are we putting too much, into these playoffs? And is it diluting it? But then at the same time, it is kind of fun to have a play-in tournament and see that a team that's maybe not there could be there. And, a team, if it's your favorite team and you thought maybe they couldn't make it, there's a chance that they could do it. So, I think there is something to that. I think there's something positive to the fact that, it does make things interesting. It definitely makes things interesting. So, there's something to be said about that. And as we look at the play-in tournament and how everything kind of shook out here with the grand scheme of things, we got to see Boston taking down Washington, which made Boston the 7 seed, and then Indiana the 9 seed. Like I mentioned, they took down the 10 seeded Charlotte Hornets. So the 9-10 has to play the loser of the 7-8, as I mentioned. So that gave Indiana a chance to play. That gave Washington a second opportunity, gave Indiana a chance to get in as well. Washington defeating Indiana took out the Pacers, which unfortunately took out O'Shea Brissett, who's been playing very well, former Syracuse player. And then we saw the Lakers, the 7, take out Golden State, the 8, which gave Golden State a second chance to face off against number 9 Memphis or number 10 San Antonio, and number 9 Memphis made it. So if Golden State wins tonight, they move forward. If they lose, then Memphis moves forward, and that's what we're looking at here. So there's still another play-in game to be had, but the play-in tournament has made things interesting. Has definitely made things interesting here right now. And so we know that the Lakers are in with LeBron James and company, playing against Phoenix, who really ended last season well in the bubble and did everything they could to try and get into the playoffs, but ultimately didn't make it, and now they're a 2 seed. So we saw that what they started last year definitely wasn't a fluke, and they continue it on this year. And then, seeing Boston get in and play Brooklyn, that's going to be exciting and fun to see. Brooklyn, a lot of people have the hopes that Brooklyn could be in the Eastern Conference Finals, if not in the NBA Finals. And now they'll have to face off against the Boston Celtics, Brad Stevens and company. So even though it's a 2-7 matchup, I do like that matchup. And seeing Washington have to play Philadelphia, well, there's also the notion that Philadelphia is going to make it all the way to the end, if not win the NBA championship. And we'll see if Washington can maybe steal a couple games in that. The Knicks are in there, which I'm ecstatic about seeing that finally. The Clippers rising, and the Clippers 3 seeds above the Lakers in this one. Denver, with everything, Denver was only making it when they had Carmelo Anthony. And now, years later, they've found a way with the team that they have and the makeup that they have to move forward. And they're 47-25 this season, 3 seed behind only Utah and Phoenix. So shout out to Denver for where they've come through history, and good to see Dallas and Portland. And so it'll be exciting. It's definitely going to be exciting to see how everything, eventually shakes out here in round 1 of the playoffs, which is going to get started very soon on May 22nd. This Saturday, we'll see the beginning of the playoffs, and the end of the play-in games, as I said, is tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern time. So, I did see the side of it where, not negative, but just seeing that, it's why do they have to do this? Why do you have to extend out to the 9 and 10 seeds? But at the same time, it makes it more exciting. It makes it more fun. And like Dave said, it puts less teams in a situation to, kind of fold and mail it in. And if they were going to, essentially, try to lose on purpose. So that's a good thing. And, so I like that. I do like the fact that it keeps more teams from tanking, so to speak. So it's good. And hopefully, it'll be positive as we move forward, and good things will come from this. So I'm hoping for the best as we see it. But after it's now gone through, I'm not, you got to give everything a shot. So I haven't been a big fan of it because I didn't understand the need for it. But I am a fan of the fact that it does make you pay more attention toward the end of the season. So I do see the value in that. And I don't think anybody should ever tank for any reason. And if this keeps teams from tanking, well, then good for all of us, because who wants to watch your favorite team lose on purpose? I guess some people want the number 1 pick, but in NBA, it's a lottery. So, you could be the absolute worst team and still get nothing. And 9 times out of 10, I feel like the team that has the most balls in the lottery doesn't end up getting it anyways. So, what's the point at the end of the day? It's still a lot. It's not like the NFL where if you're the worst team, you get the first pick. That's not the case. So, the NBA, you could have the best percentage of getting that lottery number 1 pick, and you don't get it. How many times have we seen that? The teams that are the worst team in the league, they don't get the number 1 pick. They don't get the number 2 pick. They may not get the number 3 pick. So, should you tank? No. I don't believe in losing on purpose. And on top of all of that, if you were to even try to do that, the NBA, because of the lottery, kind of has a check and balance to that, which I like, and I support that, because it basically says if you're a team out there that's losing on purpose, you still may not get rewarded at the end of it all. So you may not get rewarded for losing a game on purpose, which I'm all about, not rewarding people that are seeking to lose on purpose. So with that being said, I want to thank Carvel DeWitt for the annoying moment of the week today. Lead, learn, evolve, ad-lib, and deliver, Chick-fil-A Cicero. And I want to thank Juanita Ward, my co-host, for that. as speaking on the conversation today, why do we forgive? And knowing that forgiveness is for you, not for the other person. Top Dog of the Week, Canine Camp Dog Daycare and Canine Kampground Dog Boarding. And, of course, our video chat with Mr. Cam Lynch that we got to have here to round out this week of Wake Up Call. Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora will be on the road at the beginning of the week. We'll have plenty coming up for you next week and cannot wait to talk with you then. So, in the meantime, be well, be safe, and find us on Facebook at Wake Up Call DT, Twitter at Call DT, and Instagram at Wake Up Call _DT. Of course, 24/7 on wakeupcalldt.com. And tell your friends, family, coworkers, and colleagues. If you got fans, tell them too. To find us Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time on Facebook.com/LiveNowDT, Facebook.com/WakeUpCallDT, as well as YouTube.com/WakeUpCallDT, WakeUpCallDT.com, as well as MixLR.com/WakeUpCallDT every Monday through Friday live from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time on those outlets. And, of course, to check the archives on Stitcher, Spotify, MixLR, YouTube, iTunes, and Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, TuneIn, and Podbean to get all of our episodes of Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora after they go live. And to support these wonderful businesses that support us in the community in Central and Upstate New York, to make sure that you go out to Carvel DeWitt, as well as Cafe Kubal, the Wildcat Sports Pub, Chick-fil-A Cicero, Honda City of Liverpool, Avicoli's, Canine Camp Dog Daycare, the Pizza Man, Canine Kampground Dog Boarding, the Millhouse Market, and, of course, Ma and Pa's Popcorn.com, Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory, located on 201 Old 7th North Street in Liverpool. And, of course, online to all 50 states at maandpazpopcorn.com. That's maandpazpopcorn.com. Use the promo code DT20 anywhere in the country to have them delivered to you, as well as for in-store pickup. And you can get 20% off by utilizing my code. That's maandpazpopcorn.com. Use the promo code DT20. That's DT20. So, with all of that being stated, I hope you have a tremendous week. I cannot wait for my weekend. I've been looking forward to this for a very long time. So God bless to you all. No stress, and do your best. This is Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora inside of the Cafe Kubal Studios, asking you to be well to yourself and be good to other people. We'll talk with you soon.